Thank you. It's 9:45. I'll officially call this meeting to order. It's December 28th. This is the Broadwater County Commissioners meeting. This is a working section of the meeting prior to the official start. So, Franklin, what we're doing is signing time cards. I'm going to try and keep these in order for Debbie. So I'm just going to hand over one at a time. What I was thinking is maybe the two of us should each sign underneath their signatures as the supervisor's signature. And you're giving this back, are you going to sign it?
No.
You're refusing to sign our department head's time cards?
Yeah.
Okay. Please let the record show that Commissioner Salifka has refused to sign. Is that true of all of them, Franklin?
I want to look at them.
But
That's what
not,
I'm here for, is to look at them.
do you have any issues, I guess, with this particular time card?
No.
Okay, I will write that. Okay, here's the next one. Any issues with this time card?
Not that I know
And you are not signing? Correct.
of. Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's another one. Any issues on this one, Franklin?
No, not this time.
And still no signature. Confused. Okay, here's another one. Oh, here's two. Any issues with either of those, Franklin?
Not that I know of.
And refuse to sign both. issues with that one?
Not that I know of.
I guess we do the same thing, unless you say different.
Let me see that. Let me see that, what you're writing on there.
You can
Let
get
me-
these, get these in just a minute. Here's another one. I'm trying to keep them in order.
Morning.
I was approached by a woman to give this to you to be read.
Oh, okay. And public comment, I take it.
I got asked, how do you do it? And I said, write a statement,
Yeah.
make sure it gets read.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any issues with this time card, Franklin?
Not that I know of. Morning. How you today?
Not too bad.
Okay, anything with this one, Franklin?
Not that I know of.
Okay, here's another one. Any issues with this one, Franklin?
Not that I know of.
Here's another one. Any issues with that one, Franklin?
Not that I know
If you
of. For
decide to-
information, what we're doing, we're going through the supervisor, or the department head's supervisor's time cards. And I'm not signing them. I'm looking through them. I won't sign them. I'd have no idea if, or Julie, if she had 10 hours or she had 50 hours. If a concern comes up, I'll find out. So I'm not signing them. Would you sign somebody's time card if you had no idea what they had?
I would say that whoever the supervisor is needs to sign them.
The supervisor, the department heads, they sign for their employees, yeah, which they know. what
Or
they're
they
You're the
verify it. They
supervisors,
verify it.
And
Franklin.
we're the supervisor over these, but we don't have any idea what their hours are. Like I'm just gonna use, okay, Leonard Meyer, he had 88 hours, you know. But how do I know if he actually had 10 or if he had the 88? We're not involved with them all the time, we gotta take their word for it.
I would say they have to justify any overtime. The last thing I did with the guard, I was out at Maelstrom Air Force Base and I had like 60 people working for me. And we had a 24-hour site that we basically worked 12 on and 12 off. Of course, they were all military, and so basically there wasn't any question on how many hours they got.
Mhm.
But you know, I set the schedule every week as far as who was working, what shifts and stuff.
Now, you said this was a missile site?
It was out at Malmstrom Air Force Base,
Oh.
and we basically monitored all the vehicles that were going to the missile sites.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah,
How long did you do that?
I had a 90-day tour doing that. That was the last tour that I did of the Guard.
Oh, okay.
And I was in charge, like I said, about 60 people, and didn't have any problems except for a couple of guys didn't show up for work or something, and I had to, and they were basically Guard people, so I basically fired them. Took them off their tours and sent them back to civilian. Didn't tolerate anything like that. It's a lot easier to do that for the young people, you know, that hadn't been in the military long, you know, a real long time. Hey, morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, Mr. Harold.
How are you?
I am well,
Good
and
morning.
you?
Not too bad.
Well, and so I didn't call you yesterday morning. Remember, I don't know, it was probably a year ago, I called Laura and said, are you guys okay? Because the way that the sun shines
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
I thought it was
windows,
something fired.
it looks like your house was on fire.
Yeah.
And yesterday morning, it was the same thing again. I thought, you know, if they slip in or something, I am not going to call and see if they're,
That's just the way the sun hits on the
yeah.
windows.
The Sundermans have a dog, right?
Who?
Our next door neighbor,
Zimmerman?
Zimmerman's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've got a Labrador.
yeah. But a couple times I've seen him in the morning go out and let the dog out of the shed. And it's like, ooh, as cold as it's been, do they?
They've let him in the house quite a bit, I think.
Hmm,
I don't think they even put him out there until, you know, sometime in the morning. I don't think he sleeps out there at night. And plus, it's pretty well barricaded with piles of wood and stuff around it where the pen is, so that he can get the wind.
hmm.
There's a dog
Okay,
in
it
there.
is 10 o'clock. We have called this meeting to order at 9:45, but if you'd all please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good morning. We do have the Broadwater County Public Meeting Policy and an open meeting process policy. We follow Robert's Rules of Order. The purpose of this policy is to open Broadwater County public meetings to all Broadwater County citizens. We realize we have a fiscal and fiduciary responsibility to conduct county business as efficiently as possible for all residents. Commission meetings are recorded and are on YouTube, so please state your full name prior to any public comment for the record. Any specific conversations need to be removed from the meeting and conducted outside. Outbursts will not be tolerated. Public comment will give each citizen who wishes to speak an initial 3 minutes to do so. And any comments need to be directed to the board chairman. So with that, before we get started with any public comment, I'm going to ask for a minute of silence. Our third commissioner is very ill, and I'm going to ask for a minute to send some good thoughts her way. Okay, thank you. I don't know if anyone can appreciate how much Elaine Gravely has given to this county. So the fact that she is ill is heartbreaking for the entire county. So with that, any public comment this morning? Any public comment? Public comment.
I guess I do. This was just given to me about 5 minutes ago. I do not know this person at all.
What is their name?
This is,
In Franklin, in
to-
order to read public comment, you need to have the person.
just wait a
Would you-
minute, it's coming up right here.
You need to have their name and address, and if you would give that so that we can have that for the record, that'd be great.
I don't have the address here, but I assume it's
What's
the
their
town.
name?
My name is, to whom it may concern, my name is Tina Cross. I am deeply concerned about what I have been reading in the paper this last week. Linda Campbell was a pillar in our community. I am very sad to see her leave along with her staff. Her leaving was a big eye-opener for me. The merge of the WIC office into the hospital is a bad idea, and I do not stand behind this whatsoever. I took my son to the hospital clinic a month ago, and the doctor on call was asking me during my visit where my son gets his shots. I said the health department with Linda. He then proceeded to ask me if I would like it if I could get the kids' shots at the clinic. I said yes, that would be great as well. He then asked if I would sign a paper saying that I agreed. His secretary could not pull the paper up, so I did not sign that day. The doctor failed to tell me that Linda Campbell's office will be closed down. This makes me very mad. So the purpose of this letter is to let everyone know that I do not support this idea, and I hope I can convince this younger crowd to pay attention to what is going on. This is our town, and money and taxes on the line. Thank you, Linda Cross, 12/28/15.
All right, I'll take the letter for the public comment, or for Ann Franklin.
I'm gonna get a copy made first.
Franklin, Ann needs to get that copy for you. That is
Are you
the
gonna go get the
process
copy
we
then?
follow. Thank you very much. Okay, any other public comment? All right. Montana Minute. Franklin, you have something good to say about our community?
Yeah, you had a good Christmas around, for everything I understand. That's positive.
All right, I wanted to salute the community dinner that was had for Christmas. Also the senior center for doing its senior night tour, along with Rotary and Lions, and all the volunteers for each of those. Thank you very much. Any other Montana minutes? Anybody want to say anything good about our community? All right, Commissioners' Community Update. Franklin, what'd you do this week?
I've been attending any meetings.
All right. Last week, we did have a meeting on the 23rd that was posted, and that was to address Brenda Ludwig's resigning as sheriff, and we voted for and approved an interim sheriff, and that is Winnie Hanley under sheriff. He will serve as the interim sheriff until we go through the process, which will be a public process to hire a sheriff until the general election. That will include a process of resume, interviews, hopefully public forum. We did the same, we had the same meeting and discussion on the public health office, and worked through how we can keep that staffed for the public. So that was about it.
I attended that meeting too.
So we do have our minutes emailed to each of us the week before. I have minutes here for December 21, 2015.
I'll second.
I haven't made a motion. Are you going to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Go ahead, make the motion. I thought you already had.
Nope, that's actually should be made by you since I'm the chair.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion is seconded. It's been moved and approved to adopt the minutes of December 21, 2015. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. aye, motion carries. Thank you, Ann. Okay, before our next appointment, we do have some mail. Franklin, we had a report on some brownfields work that was done in the county last week. We have some more outstanding brownfields opportunities in Raidersburg, Toston, Townsend. We also have an opportunity to team with the Tri-County Coalition, which includes Lewis and Clark, who are taking the lead and doing all the legwork for a grant. This would be a brownfields assessment grant. It costs the county no money. It just gives us a chance to address some potential super funds and have a grant process for that. It's a brownfields revolving loan fund. So again, no money to the county. I did read this last week. Are you in favor of signing a support letter for this Tri-County?
I'll support it, I'm not gonna sign it.
So will you move to support the letter, and I'll sign it myself?
Go ahead.
Is that a motion?
I'm not making a motion.
Okay, I will move that we support the Tri-County Coalition for a Brownfields RLF and grant to address Superfund sites in the county. All, second? This is just a support letter. It doesn't cost us anything, frankly.
That's fine, I know, I understand.
Are you going to second the motion? No. Okay, please let the record show. Okay, another piece of business to bring up is we had talked about changing our meeting days to Tuesdays. I did meet with Kirk and Val on that. And then last week, Corey sent an email that said actually that would not work for him, so we'll be staying with Mondays, if that is okay with you. I should bring that to your attention. Also, one of the resolutions, well, I'll just send those to you for you to review. And we have a Montana Department of Transportation analysis on bridge inspections. This was bridge in Toston and one in Raidersburg. These have also been sent to the road supervisor. Copy will remain in the commission office. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, but this is really inner workings, and the agenda does say these issues and times are subject to change. So Brooke Dolan, victim witness to represent county attorney staff, request to change back to state email system. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So I guess our office is requesting that we go back to the state system. Needless to say, we haven't been particularly pleased with DIS and what they provide us and how slow everything is. But the main reason that we want to go back is because we work with countless agencies and people that we don't have access to. And when this was switched over, and it's really of no one's fault, but when this was switched over, I just had somebody from DIS come into my office and say, I need on your computer for doing something. I didn't even know what was happening. I thought it was some sort of upgrade or patch, or I didn't know. Get back on my computer, and I had lost all of my state contacts. And apparently this decision was made prior to Corey taking office. So Corey didn't know this was happening, I didn't know this was happening, and it happened. And once it happened, it's very difficult to go back unless we go forth this way. I made a list of the agencies that we talk to, that now, as you know, our email contacts are just the contacts of our county, and that really does me very little good. The difference in cost, right now we're paying, it looks like $147 a month. The state, with all of our email and everything, is going to be $198.73 a month. But for that $51.73, I figure if you see the list of agencies that we have to talk to, the amount of man hours that we have to put in to track down people is worth $50 a month very easily. I'd be happy to read off these agencies if you'd like, or I could just give you the list of them. But I'll give you this list, and just please keep in mind, like, this is just a for instance, like Department of Family Services. Our Department of Family Services that services Broadwater County is not in Broadwater County, it's in Helena, and there's several caseworkers, several supervisors, it's on and on and on. So we need to have access to them. And you just make a phone call, hope for a phone call back. It just is, just understand that each one of these, I mean, you could, any of them, Pine Hills, Riverside, probation, parole. We work with probation, parole from Thompson Falls to Miles City. You don't know, because so many of our cases are either dealing with people who are not residents of Broadwater County, or they have a co-case somewhere else. So we're just dealing with hundreds of people. All of these agencies have several people that we deal with. So if we're talking about probation and parole, we're talking about literally hundreds of probation and parole officers that we don't have access to. So it really does make sense if we're looking at the cost effectiveness of it, not just for man hours, but for frustration on our part, if we could have the approval to please go back to the state system. And I can, here's some copies.
That would be great. Can you speak for a second on no access? I'm concerned, first of all, with what you lost,
Okay.
and would like to know if you ever got that back. And then no access, do you honestly not have the ability to communicate via email with these agencies?
Not, it used to be that you would be able to just click on the to button for contacts, and the entire state agencies would come up. You could then go through, as I'm sure you know, you go through, I can click onto DOC and I can find caseworkers for that, or Department of Family Services, I can click on that and get all my caseworkers. And no, I have no ability to do so. And that happened like that. And it's not only that, but it's very important to be in the county attorney's office that, just like everybody else, that's how we keep a very good record about who said what and when it was said. So many things that we deal with are very time sensitive. When Corey has to take something to court, we can say to these people, look, we asked you this question, then we provided you with this information. Then, like the Office of Public Defender's Office, which is through the Department of Administration, we have timelines that we have to go off of, and it's so easy for them to say, we never got it. Well, you know what, if I'm scanning an email to you, yeah, you did. We have a way of proving that those things happened as well. And when we do have access to the Public Defender's Office once we've received emails from them, but we're trying to track down people, and it's just not cost effective at the end of the day. Or, I mean, we're putting in crazy hours trying to get some of this stuff accomplished in the first place. So it's just one more frustration that isn't helping in the process, I guess.
Sure, absolutely. All right, Harold, did you have a question?
Yeah, the thing that I wanted to point out is that all the state agencies, you could actually set up a link on their computer that would go to the state, and all those departments and all the employees and stuff. I can find pretty much anybody that's in the state.
That's, you might be able to find it, but not their particular email address. The actual directory is not on the links. We have searched that out. And you can find like a department, like
Yeah,
I
give in their phone numbers.
I could look up their phone number, but again, then I'm back to making a phone call, finding out who the caseworker is for Jane Doe in town, and then starting the process. And meanwhile, I'm a half hour down the road if somebody calls me back, which they probably, it's 2 days callback time in most cases.
All right, any other questions for Brooke Franklin?
No, I just think that if you wanna go back to the old system or whatever it is to get it straightened around like you had it, if you need a motion for that, I'll make a motion to that effect.
Brooke, have you done any talking with DIS as far as what the process is to do that? To ask
Not
them
so much
if
with
they-
DIS, I've talked with the state, and they're set up, they're ready to go, they just gotta flip the switch, because apparently, I don't know who else is on the server here, the state server, I know that both courts are, so I don't know if that, I'm not a techie by any stretch of the imagination, but apparently it's fairly quick to happen. I don't know, if I need to call Garrett and let him know that that's happening, my understanding is that it doesn't necessarily affect them, whether or not we're on with them or not. I don't know the details of that.
Okay, I think before we move forward, we need to have some of those details. The
Okay.
last thing we want to do is go through another, it sounds like there's something going on very seriously that you lost contacts.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we need to get to the bottom of that, so. we can-
Well, and it's not their fault, it's not, it's just that when they switch over to that system, we lose our directory. We lost all of our directory. So, and that's nothing that they could have anything, that they have anything to do with,
Okay,
because it's a state system.
okay. Well, I don't have any problem with it, but I do think we need some
Okay.
details.
And by
before we
details, what
move
exactly would you like?
I called Garrett.
Okay.
What I would suggest is a working meeting, so
Okay.
that we know what it is we're looking at. It's not as easy as just
Okay.
flipping the switch, or else we would have done that,
Okay,
you know, a couple of years ago when we started this whole thing.
okay,
So, if you could talk to him, maybe
Okay.
set up a working meeting,
okay,
and then we can get to the bottom of what the process is to go ahead and make that switch.
okay, all right, sounds great.
All
All right,
right.
so should I just request another time on the agenda?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Brooke.
Thank you.
All right, we have department heads at 10:30, which is about 10 minutes out. And I think that we are done with all our mail at this point.
Yeah, so, and I'd like to have a copy of that, 'cause it takes a little while to kind of figure out. I have an idea of the one bridge I started to be done, but it'll take a little time to figure it out. Read it over.
And we keep all our mail in the commission office. There's a file that's labeled mail, so we can read that prior to meetings as well.
Yeah, I'm asking for a copy.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm just letting everybody know what the process is that we follow to keep everybody fully informed. The next discussion is with department heads, so they will not be here for a minute or two. So we're just gonna go ahead and recess for 10 minutes. You guys feel free to stretch your legs, and we'll be back at 10:30. So.
Laura, what's the prognosis for Elaine?
I don't know.
All I can say is she's very ill. I'm not saying anymore.
So, Mike, we recessed for 10 minutes, so welcome to stay.
Yeah, they announced at church Saturday night that she was in an ICU.
Brian, we're recessed until 10:30.
Oh.
Hi there.
Yeah, you were so much fun, I left right away.
How can you walk out?
Oh, no, I know, that's how I go.
Yes.
Force of your personality, what can I say?
This is the first important 10 minutes, I can tell.
Yeah, see, everything happened where I